Hey, it's Caster again, and today we're answering the question why you should check out One Piece. It's 2024, and as One Piece turns 25 this year, I'm convinced of two things. The first is that there isn't a human on Earth that hasn't at least heard of One Piece. I mean, even in North Sentinel Island, they're fans of One Piece. The second thing is that there isn't a better time to be a fan of One Piece than now. With the prequel movie coming this month, the beginning of One Piece being remade, one of the most iconic moments in anime culture just recently passed, an incredible, well done, and successful live action, and of course, Luffy making his debut for the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. Not only is there an incredible amount of new One Piece content and love, but there's also so much to celebrate, and honestly, it feels great. But enough of me flexing my love for One Piece. Chances are you're watching this video because you're either interested in finally starting One Piece, you want a reason to get invested in One Piece, or you already love One Piece and just want to hear it get hyped up. So, what's One Piece about? Straw Hat Luffy is a pirate who ate a devil fruit, a fruit that gives its users superpowers, and his power is that of having a rubber body. But that's not all. You see, Luffy's a pirate, but not just any pirate, he's gonna be the king of the pirates! I hope I did that right. One Piece is an odyssey chronicling the journey of Luffy and his crew, the Straw Hat Pirates, and their path to their respective dreams. Coming in at the time of recording this with a whopping 15 movies, 1,089 episodes, and 1,103 chapters. At first glance, it's definitely daunting, but I've seen people catch up in 3 months to a year. It personally took me 4 years to catch up, but I'll tell you what I tell everyone. Just take your time and enjoy the ride. When you do catch up, it's an incredible feeling because all you want is more One Piece content. All that being said, let's get into what makes One Piece great. I decided that animation and choreography was a bit contentious, and it's all subjective, so I just changed it to art. Anyways, the art in One Piece is incredibly unique. Some say it's an acquired taste, and some just love it from the start. But me personally, I love the unique flavor of art One Piece provides. The manga panels are usually clean enough to understand what's going on and often have little Easter eggs sprinkled in. I will say though, the art has definitely only gotten better over time. And when we get those huge landscapes or impactful double spreads, they're absolutely gorgeous. As for the animation, it was never bad, but it looks really modern with a more saturated color palette and insane animation sequences once you get to time skip, especially in the current arc of One Piece. Luffy vs Kaido, best animation of 2023. The pacing on the fights can be similar to Dragon Ball Z sometimes, but when the action is going, those sequences are absolutely amazing. Like I said earlier, we are getting a remake, not a remaster, a remake of the beginning of One Piece, so I'm super excited to see how it turns out, and hope that it helps successfully get more people into One Piece. Overall, for the art of One Piece, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Story and world building. Another quick change, I decided to add world building to story since they're integral to each other. The story in One Piece, in my opinion, is the greatest story ever told. Eiichiro Oda truly is a master of subverting expectations, taking things in a mind-blowing direction and even bringing events from over a decade ago back into a relevant point. And at this point in the story, we're getting a lot of answers to questions we've had for quite some time. The story of One Piece honestly is exciting from the very beginning, and I don't think that feeling of wonder ever lets go. It's definitely an extremely emotional story, chock full of pain, strife, tons of tear-jerking character backstories, joyous moments the entire community celebrates, and of course, mystery and intrigue. The depths the story goes to and holds you there is only further enhanced by the depths of the world building. Dozens of islands interconnecting the massive world and bringing them together, with all sorts of races, conflicts, lore, new pirates, and of course, princesses. I think One Piece has as many princesses as Disney does, honestly. But back to the point. The world of One Piece is absolutely massive. And the best part is, we get to see so much of it. Sure, some things get off-screened, but for the most part, we get to see the direction the story goes and just how big the world is, and I love that. There's plenty of things to enjoy about One Piece, but the story and the world building are absolutely one of those things, which is why I'm giving this category a 10 out of 10. Characters. Characters in One Piece have an absurd amount of range. From rage-inducing to lovable to super cool to whoa, look at that weird panda man in the background. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of characters. There's someone to love for everyone, and the community is more divided than the nations of Avatar in support of their favorites, but I love that. That to me is great character writing, especially when we factor in the character backstories that, for the most part, really flesh out who and why they are the way they are. The Straw Hat Pirates that make up the main characters are all great. I mean, genuinely, I love each one of them. Usopp hate is forced. Chopper hate is forced. Zoro hate might be a little bit valid. But, agenda pushing aside, even the supporting and side characters are some of the greatest. And of course I'm baddie brained, so I have to admit One Piece definitely has some S tier villains. Looking at you, Doflamingo. But with hundreds of characters all fighting for shine, not all of them are gonna be everyone's cup of tea. And sometimes they fall a little bit short. But for the most part, characters in One Piece are spectacular, and the good far outweighs the bad. So, for that, I'm going to have to give the characters in One Piece a 9 out of 10. Power system. The power system in One Piece is actually 2 power systems. The first one being Devil Fruits. Like I said earlier, Devil Fruits are fruits that give people a power, but in most cases, they don't know what the power is until they eat it, or as I like to call it, RNG. The best description I've heard for Devil Fruits is rock, paper, scissors, because most fruits act in direct counter to another, but it allows for some absolutely wild powers, and in turn, absurd fights and even crazier moments. There are 3 types of Devil Fruits. Paramecia, which changes the person or gives them some weird power. It's complicated to explain without spoiling. Then there's Logias, which is basically an elemental power that lets a person turn into an element. It's weird, but it's cool. And then there's Zoans, which make somebody a animal person. Zoans are cool, but they're weird, and I definitely can't spoil anything about that. Moving on though, the second power system is called Haki, also known as the Great Equalizer. Haki is a person's willpower converted into strength, and everyone has access to it, but not everyone will become strong enough to use it. Personally, I love Haki because it directly correlates to a person's overall strength and basically evens the playing field for everyone. Neither one of these power systems is too in-depth, but the moments they provide, from fights to utility to straight up comedy, make the power systems in One Piece incredibly enjoyable. And for that, I'm gonna have to give power systems in One Piece a 10 out of 10. All 4 of these points total out to a whopping 9.5 out of 10 overall. Now, it may seem like I'm biased towards One Piece, and honestly, I am. Truthfully, I think there's no better work of fiction than One Piece. It truly brings me joy and excitement. As rambunctious as they can be at times, I love engaging with the community. And anytime I leave the house, I almost always run into another fan. And anytime I see One Piece getting love, I can't help but smile. I really do hope if you weren't interested in One Piece before this video, that it did change your mind, because I'd love to see you love One Piece too. I mean, it's peak. Seriously. But remember to leave a like if you liked the video, leave a comment and let me know if I've swayed you, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, because on the next episode of Why You Should Check Out, we answer the question, why you should check out Chainsaw Man.